down the hill here just now, just after you leave. Knock down that tree from there. See the tree there? Knock down that tree. Root up against that them black rocks. Turn up on the side, turn back over. Look here, the front wheels in the back. Look at all the garbage on the ground. Come down the hill without brakes.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look, all the garbage over there on the side. See over there. Windshield, everything here on the ground. Look the front of the truck.
Yeah, alright, go. Yeah, man, that man safe.
Right.
That man bless you.
You man stand up over
stronger
there.
than me and you.
You man stand up over there.
Look the side of the truck. The tire. Look the gas tank. Look. See the truck? That's a lucky guy, boy. Lucky.
That's man, boy. Hey, he can have an angel with him. Tell him that much.
Well, basically today we had the visit of the Prime Minister and the State Secretary and his delegation. They came to get a first-hand visit to St. Martin to see the progress of St. Martin as it relates to how far are we in the recovery process. So that was the main agenda discussed this afternoon in the Council of Ministers meeting. And before that, we had a brief meeting with him, my person, and the State Secretary. And basically, those were the key issues or concerns that came up in this visit. But of course, the Prime Minister Rutte can give further elucidation on such. But I must say that the meetings went very well. I'm very much appreciative of the visit here, and I think it's very much we are a work in progress of St. Martin, and we thank the Netherlands for their continuous cooperation, and of course for the funds that we will be receiving within short.
Raymond Knops and I came here to discuss the situation at Stacia, at Saba, and today at St. Martin. And clearly a lot has been done. I was struck by the resilience of society, the way government, society, societal organizations and the business community are working together to improve the situation. But at the same time, still a lot needs to be done, particularly here on St. Martin. And I must say that the present government, and I know a new government is coming in, but we hope of course the Prime Minister will stay the same, as there is a lot of confidence in her personally, and that continuity we badly need here in St. Martin. This government, and we also hope the new government, will be fully aware of what needs to be done, has a clear agenda, a clear path forward. And we have discussed, for example, shelter capacity. Clearly that is not yet 100% guaranteed that everybody on St. Martin will have, if a new hurricane would strike this island of a 4 or 5 level, that there would be enough shelter capacity for people in that situation. But we know the government is working very hard on that. I don't mean perfect new housing, because that will not be possible at such a short notice, but at least places where people can go to, and a plan for people to go there, which makes sure that everybody is safe if a new hurricane would strike the island. The second issue is the baby dump, as it is called. It's crucial that that is dealt with, because this will be one big new problem on the island if a hurricane would hit that part of the dump. And of course the main dump is a big issue, because it is really not helping in rebuilding the economy when there is a constant fire going on the island. So there are some real issues. The prison is another issue. We discussed all of that. The Netherlands is very happy that we have an agreement on border controls, on an integrity chamber, which was necessary for us to be able to make available over €500 million through the World Bank for the reconstruction of St. Martin, which will be handed out in installments on strict World Bank conditions. They have a lot of experience in this. So in that sense, I think it was a very successful visit. A lot being done. I was really impressed by the resilience of the society and the way people are fighting back the situation, and at the same time, still a lot needs to be done. We are not yet there.
I've been here several times in the last months, and every time I see progress. We were at the lagoon today, and I saw a lot of people working to carry on with the ship wreckages, to remove them, to create a safe entrance and pass-through for ships. We were at the airport today, where we saw that a lot has to be done to reconstruct the airport, the lifeline to the outside world, the economic lifeline as well. And I myself have a lot of confidence in the ministers I spoke. We had discussed plans around the prison, as the Prime Minister said, but also the dump. Earlier I said, is it a shame for the country to have such a dump in the center of your country? And I saw a lot of ministers very committed to remove it quickly, to solve this problem from a healthcare perspective, but also from an economic and attractive perspective. So if you travel to Sint Maarten, you see how many houses are affected, then you know that this is not something we can solve overnight. On the other hand, we were at the White Yellow Cross today, and we saw the projects they did for the most vulnerable people in Sint Maarten, and they really have achieved to help a lot of people with restoring and reconstructing the roofs of the houses. And these signals of improvement, that every day it becomes a little bit better, together with the resilience the Prime Minister referred to, that is essential, together with the commitment within the Kingdom to work together in these challenging times to make Sint Maarten a better land to live in the next months. Thank you.
Sherlin, what are you doing?
Oh, just sending my friends a tweet to come to the show to see me.
To see you? They ain't coming to see you, they come to see me. But by the way, what's that tweet?
I'm just sending them a message to come to the show.
It's a family affair, a father and son comedy show featuring the philosopher of humor Fernando Clark and his son, the rising star Sherlin Clark, in the first ever pre-Father's Day comedy show on Sunday, June 3rd, under the tent at the Port of Plaisance, starting at 7 p.m. sharp, gates open at 6 p.m. Tickets are available at the Vandor bookstores in Simpson Bay and at the 80 Illich Road, Big D Photo Studio on the Pondville Road, and SOS Radio in Marigot for $30. Bring the whole family because it's a family affair.
Daddy, what are you doing?
Sending my friends a tweet too so that they could come to the show.
Daddy, you can't. Just give me their numbers and I'm gonna send them a message, alright?
And tell them bring the daddy and the mommy and grandpa and granny and nenen and godfather. Tell them bring the whole family because it's a family affair.
Alright.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Now, Davey, you're supposed to be a very happy man because you're the one who fights very hard to getting this going. Are you satisfied with how everything is going so far?
I am extremely elated. This has been a project that's about 4 years in the works. When I thought to myself of running for president of St. Martin Lions Club, I felt this is a project that was needed. It was back in 2001 that the St. Martin Lions Club took on a project such as this, and I felt there was a need to bring it back. So it was in the works for about 4 years. We had some hiccups in the past with it, financial shortcomings that we needed to overcome. We overcame those shortcomings. Hurricane Irma came, messed up our plans again, but we were persistent and we got it done in May 2018. So we're very happy to get this done. And I'm even happier when I see at the end of the line there are kids that are getting glasses. That's the most happiest feeling for me and my team in seeing that part done. You know what I mean?
I realize that you said there's over 3,000 children that come in here to test their eye. What's going to happen to the information? You're going to make a report on it and how successful it was?
Yes. A report will be compiled by the VOSH team. That will be turned over to us, and that report in turn we will turn over to the Ministry of Health and also the Ministry of Education. So they will have a good synopsis of the situation of the children's eyes on the island, and with that document they could plan for the coming years at how to address that situation as well.
About average percent at this point, like how much of them are?
You know, I would say myself, I can't speak for the other doctors, but I would say probably 20% of the children that I see are getting glasses, either to help them see far away or even for near work, for close work, schoolwork, things like that.
So would you say that it's really needed for the island, for the children, based on your
Absolutely,
estimate?
based on my estimation at this point, absolutely. It's a higher percentage than I thought.
Okay.
And yes, we're very fortunate to have Barbara help set this all up and organize this, and we brought enough glasses. Looks like we're going to do very well.
Barbara, how many countries that you went and do a lot of eye testing for children?
Well, actually, this is a first because normally when we go in, we take the population, and at that time, most of them are adults. This is the first time we've done all children, so it's been kind of hard to estimate the time frame that we would need to get these children through. In most cases, as he said, 20%. That means that we're not looking at cataracts and pterygiums and all these other things that you see with adults, which takes longer. So we're hoping to be able to run 700 through a day and with no problem. But we've been to VOSH, Ohio. When I've been on this team, have been in 21 countries or 21 missions here in the last few years. I've been to Africa, and Bob and I met in Africa actually. And we've been to Eastern Europe, Poland, Romania, Ukraine. We've been to Central America, most all countries in Central America. We've been to South America, Haiti quite a few times. And there's need all over the world. And I'm glad to find that we're useful here?
I think the biggest difference in seeing just children is we don't find as much eye disease, but we are finding things that will help them study better, be better students, carry on their lives better, be able to see clearer, makes their studying easier, their reading better. So we found a few lazy eyes which were able to help, but as far as eye disease, not too much, which is great.
I'm here with some members from NIPA students, and they're going to explain exactly what takes place at this point here before they move on to the doctors. Which one do you want to share that?
I will go ahead first. So here at Station 2, we have the eye testing, whereby we make the students line up at a certain distance, and after we tell them to say out the letters loud, so then we can see what number they get, and then from there they move on to the doctors.
Now, if the reading is not good for the letters that you have on the board here, you're going to write out exactly where they have to go to the doctor could test that one that they can't see the small letters?
Correct.
Yes.
We give them a certain number they're supposed to get. Depends on the letters what they can see or which one they cannot see. And then from there the doctors will prescribe a specific lens for them.
And you are the coordinator for where they have to go and everything?
Correct. So it depends on what their reading is. If it's 20/20, then they'll have to skip station 3 and go to station 4 directly to the doctors. If not, then I have to direct them to station 3 just to do a double check on their eyes.
And how would you say it's going so far with students?
So far it's going good. I think the students are having fun because they're out of school. Yeah, so far it's going good.
And I realize there's over 3,000 children that you are.
Yes, and we haven't even reached 1,000 as yet. And I'm ready for you to know.
So you got a long way to go.
Yeah, we still there. It's like, yeah.
But you all enjoying it though, right?
So far, yes.
It's good. Yeah.
Yes.
I would also like to thank NIPA for, as you can see, we have a group of youngsters here. They are following the course of nursing, and they are here now to help us with the first stage. And I'm extremely proud to have them here on board, as this is also their kind of a project that for them will count also in their future. So I'm very glad. I thank everyone for assisting when we had the bingo that was done by Jump Up Casino, where in December, where all the proceeds was split between the St. Martin Rotary Club and St. Martin Lions Club. And with that, that's how for the local, all our community, they could see where the money is going into this project. And for that, we are extremely happy. And we hope that you continue supporting us as we do our project. I can say that in the coming months, there we will have our health project, which will be, if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks from now, weekend here at Bel Air. And on the 16th of June, we'll be holding our bingo, and also the car raffle will be done at the same night here in Bel Air. So we look forward to all the whole community to come out and support the Lions Club as we continue to help our own community.
Tell them. connecting you.
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun Miles, fun within your reach.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
My question is directed at the two prime ministers. It has been widely speculated that there has been a distrust between the two countries, Holland and St. Martin. What has been done now to ensure that we regain the trust of the two parties?
That takes time, but at the end of the day, it also has to do about people. And there's a lot of personal trust from Raymond and myself in this Prime Minister and in her team and their willingness to quickly solve the issues. So yes, there was and still is mistrust. It's not gone overnight. But the fact that with a lot of hassle and with a lot of slowing down, in February this new government accepted our conditions to provide the necessary $500 million support, and the way they're working on this and the personal relationship Leona, Raymond and myself have built over the last couple of months provides a basis to work on, and that gives a lot of confidence.
Why did you pick a rather expensive vector like the World Bank as for the distribution of the aid, and why not choosing for a local institution that would be closer to the population and with a better insight of what is needed and what has happened?
Because number one, the World Bank is the best in the world in handling these type of projects. They have the most extensive experience in doing this. And secondly, because we want an institution which is completely independent from anything happening here in the Caribbean.
Yes, thank you, Prime Minister Rutte. As you know, St. Martin is looking at a hole in its budget this year of close to 200 million guilders. At a certain moment that money will run out. My question is, can this country count on budget support from the Netherlands when all the money is gone here in spite of the best efforts of this government?
No, only liquidity support. We are willing to look at liquidity support, not budget support. But we are willing to look at liquidity support, and with some delay we got the proposals from St. Martin which are currently being reviewed by the CFT.
Ik stel mijn vraag in het Nederlands ook met oog op video. Meneer Rutte, Nederland leeft natuurlijk ontzettend mee met Sint Maarten nog steeds. Heeft u ook een tip voor de Nederlanders nu van hoe kunnen zij nog helpen? En een andere vraag is, want er is ook een andere zorg en dat is de vraag, komt iedere euro goed aan op Sint Maarten en heeft u na uw bezoek daar meer vertrouwen in?
Omdat er zorg is over corruptie op dit eiland hebben wij strenge eisen gesteld aan steun. Nederland is bereid om onze partners in het Koninkrijk, Sint Maarten, fors te helpen. Dat moet ook. Het gaat heel veel geld kosten om de kolossale schade die op dit eiland is aangericht te herstellen. En Nederland heeft gezegd dat we bereid zijn meer dan 500 miljoen euro daarvoor ter beschikking te stellen. Maar daar hebben we 2 voorwaarden aan verbonden. De eerste is dat de grenscontrole op orde komt. Het heeft maanden geduurd met de vorige regering die er niet aan wilde voldoen. Waardoor we ook maanden vertraging hebben opgelopen. Maar ja, dat was een keuze van Sint Maarten, niet van ons. Waardoor we niet konden beginnen met meer dan absolute noodsteun. Die noodsteun liep gelukkig wel door, maar de echte steun kon pas beginnen toen ze daarmee akkoord gingen. En akkoord gingen met het instellen van een integriteitskamer. Die ervoor zorgt dat de corruptie op dit eiland ook echt wordt bestreden. Nu aan die 2 eisen is voldaan. En ook het feit dat er een nieuwe premier is, waarin wij persoonlijk veel vertrouwen hebben. En waarvan wij hopen dat ze ook de premier zal zijn van de nieuwe regering. Dat is een belangrijke basis om nu met elkaar door te gaan. Is dat een garantie? Nee. Maar zijn daarmee in redelijkheid de voorwaarden gecreëerd om dat vertrouwen met elkaar te herstellen? Is het antwoord ja. Wat kunnen Nederlanders doen? Ingewikkeld voor mij om daar natuurlijk een advies over te geven. Maar ik zou zeggen tegen Nederlanders, als je houdt van dit gebied en als je graag op vakantie ging naar de Cariben, als je dat vroeger ook deed naar Sint Maarten, overweeg serieus hier weer terug te gaan. Er zijn veel hotels die weer hersteld zijn, die weer open zijn, die back in business zijn. We hebben vandaag een paar prachtige projecten ook gezien. Het eiland is nog niet 100% hersteld, nee, er moet nog veel gebeuren. Maar je kunt enorm helpen door, als je van deze regio houdt, en er zijn heel veel redenen voor om van deze regio te houden, om dan ook weer terug te keren naar Sint Maarten.